welcome back to part 2 of my introduction to the ukulele. So we've learned a little bit about the ukulele, the strings, the names of the strings, the parts of the ukulele, where it's from. Now let's actually get to playing the ukulele as well. So today we're going to learn 4 different chords. Those chords will be C, A minor, F and G. These 4 chords are so useful because, as I said in the last video, they are used in so many different songs across so many different types of music, and you can actually play so many songs as well just by learning these 4 chords. So what we'll do is we'll go over each chord, I'll explain how to play it, give you a little bit of tips and hints on how to actually play quite well and clearly as well, and then what we'll do is we'll put all of those chords together and play them together. And the next video will introduce you to our first song that we'll learn on the ukulele too. So, put the ukulele here. Try not to hold it like this. A lot of my students hold it here and it actually makes it a little bit more difficult to play because you don't have as much room. So make sure you are sitting it nice here, like this. Make sure you get comfortable in your position because it will be a little bit easier for you to play if you are nice and comfortable as well. Now the very first chord that we learn on the ukulele is the C chord. The C chord is the easiest chord that we will ever learn on the ukulele as well. And for that we're going to use this finger here. Try wiggling this finger and it is a little bit awkward. This is the finger next to your pinky, so your ring finger or your awkward finger as I like to call it because it's hard to wiggle itself. We are going to put that finger on the 3rd fret of the apple string. So we count down our strings, greedy, camels, eat apples, and then we count down the fretboard 3 because it's on the 3rd fret. Then when we play on the frets, we don't play on the actual fret itself, we play in the space in between. So we count 1, 2, 3. Now as you can see here, my finger's quite flat on the ukulele. It's very important that when we do play chords, we use the very fingertips. Now at first, if you've never played an instrument before, you've never played a string instrument before, this might be a little bit sore on your fingertips, but the more you play, you'll start to build up really hard fingertips. Don't worry, you won't see it, but they will be nice and strong after a little bit of time, so it will hurt maybe a little bit at first, but as I said, you'll get used to it after a bit of time anyway. So let's count down, upward finger, 1, 2, 3rd fret, put the fingertip on, nice and strong, and then with our thumb we're just going to strum all of the strings. And that's a C chord. Now when we're practicing, let's strum 4 times. I'll go into a little bit more detail about that in a wee while, about why we strum 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our next chord that we're going to use is our A minor chord. Now for the A minor chord, this time we are going to use our middle finger. And this time we're going to put that on the greedy string and we're going to put it on the 2nd fret. So we go along the greedy string, which is our top string, and we count 1, 2, and remember we're playing with our middle finger. And again, we strum that 4 times. Easy as that. So there we go, our first 2 chords, we only use 1 finger, and that's it. We could even play a couple of songs with just those 2 chords too. Now, keep your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string, because this time we're going to play our F chord. And when we play the F chord, it's very similar to an A minor, but we add a finger. Now, wiggle your pointy finger, and we are going to add that to the 8th string on the 1st fret this time. So we count, greedy, camels, 8, and then on the 1st fret. Make sure the fingertips are nice and strong on the strings, and strum 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Now, the last chord that we're going to learn is the G chord. This one is a little bit trickier, and this one it really is important where your hand position is when you play this as well. It's very easy to want to hold your hand quite close to the ukulele here, but a lot of the movement when we're playing different chords is actually in the wrists, in our thumb position as well. Sometimes it helps to put your thumb on the back of the ukulele, just to give you a little bit of extra support. So put your thumb on the back, probably behind the 2nd fret, and then pull your hand up slightly, because this is going to give you a better range of movement when we're playing the G chord. Now we're going to put our pointy finger on the 2nd fret on the camel string. So 2nd fret on the camel string. Notice how my hand is pulled back here quite a bit. The middle finger we're going to put on the same fret, but this time on the A string, here. And our awkward finger, or our ring finger, we are going to pull it up onto the 3rd fret on the 8th string. This chord is a little bit trickier, and it does take a little bit of getting used to, but the more you practice it, the easier it will get. Now once we've got into the shape of this, still notice how my hand is pulled slightly this way, compared to the C chord where the hand's down here a little bit. The G chord, I've pulled my wrist and my hand back slightly just to give me a better range of movement. And again, we'll strum this G chord 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there we go, that is our first 4 chords that we've learned on the ukulele. We've got the C, the A minor, the F, and the G. Now a couple of hints and tips when you are playing chords and learning chords. If you find that your chord sounds a bit like this, that either means that 1, you're not putting your fingers on tight enough, or on the fingertips enough, or you've not got the correct fret, or you're maybe on the fret itself. So always check where your fingers are with the fingertips. When you're learning a new chord, another good thing to do is pluck each string individually to make sure it has got a nice crisp and clear sound. And so that it doesn't sound like this. If it sounds quite muted like that, again, just push those fingers down a little bit harder. Another thing I always like to say is a finger, a fret. So it's very important that we do use the correct fingers when we are playing different chords, because it will then make it easier to transition and change into other chords later. For example, we play the C chord with our awkward finger. It's then very, very easy for us to play the A minor chord with the middle finger. And then it's even easier for us to simply just add the pointy finger on for the F chord. Now, to be honest, the G is a little bit trickier to change to from F. This one will just take a little bit of practice. One last thing when I'm giving a little bit of help and tips on how to play different chords is a phrase that the kids always say as well, and it's called muscle memory. Some of my younger kids like to say knuckle muscle memory. I don't know why, I don't know if that makes them feel a little bit stronger, so knuckle muscle memory if you like. But muscle memory is just when we repeat an action so many times that our muscles start to remember it. And if we do that, basically if we change the chords again and again and again, and practice changing the chords again and again and again, you won't even have to think about it. You'll build up the muscle memory, and before you know it, you'll be changing chords so quickly without even thinking. So, if you are practicing, just say we are practicing a C to an A minor. Just practice C, A minor, C, A minor, C, A minor, C, A minor, to build up that muscle memory. Now, we're going to play these all together. Now, I've made you play each chord with a count to 4. The reason that I've done a count to 4 is because in music we always follow a time and a pattern. Now, there are many different times and patterns. The most common one across most pop songs and just across music in general is probably 4/4 timing, which means 4 beats in the bar, which means we count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have different time signatures in music, and they can get really complicated. It requires a lot more brain power and thinking, but we'll stick to 4/4 for just now. So when we're playing, we play to 4 beats in the bar. So that means that we play to 4, and then to 4, and then 4 again, When you're practicing these chords, try and play each one to a count of 4. We strum every time there's a beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. When you start to get a little bit better at doing that and it becomes a little bit easier for you, we can then move on to more complicated strumming patterns, and that's what we do with our right hand. And again, I'll post another video about strumming patterns at a later time as well.